Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
Ojúmọ́ ti mọ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi ẹ̀gbọ́nra jìgì kátúnramú oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ alákọ̀wé gbogbo ẹni tó ń wáṣẹ́ ọmọlé ìwé o òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa ríre o ẹni máa ríre o wọ́n á ṣì bá òwúrọ̀ òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa ríre o. Let's go, my beautiful sisters.
Beautiful Saturday morning it is, and it's exactly 1 week before we all head to the polls. You head to the polls as well to choose the next president of this dear nation called Nigeria and members of the National Assembly. That's why we decided to choose another anchor today, just to make sure that Yinka Ali takes a breather, who is a little bit under the weather though. I need to ask her, I hope Anibaba or Sheyemotayo hasn't done the needful on that part, you know. But then good to have Ajivike stay here, and I'd like to say good morning to you. Thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
Good morning to you, TD. How are you doing?
Very fine. Great. Your cap looks like a comrade. Are you one? I
am.
A comrade will remain a comrade. Yes, welcome to Spring Delights, live from Western Spring Television. I want to welcome you on behalf of the entire transmission team. It promises to be super duper, and we surely will give it to you.
Definitely. That's why we're here, right?
Quite a whole lot is in stock for you to enjoy on the program this morning. We promise you it will be exciting. The newspaper review. We'll look at today in history, 18th February years ago, and obviously our in-house analyst will be with us very shortly. Also, we have two great guests in the house with us. Yeah, have you tried the POS recently?
Don't even talk about that today. It is something else. Aside the fact that most of them are not even there. Then when you see the ones that are open, it feels like there is a planned work going on somewhere whereby I feel it's extortation. It is just sad. This is a time for the Americans will say God bless America, and some will say God bless Nigeria. I think this is the time for us to say God pray for Nigeria. Honestly, we need to
just pray for Nigeria, and that's all we could do, just to make sure that we get it right. We'll have the chairman-elect of the Association of Mobile Money Banking in Osun State chapter. He will be here to talk to us as to what is happening. And also we have an actor who will tell us his life, being an actor, being a producer as well. So much to serve you. We'll go on this short break. When we return, we'll take a look at some of the headlines making the rounds from the papers that we've got with us. Right, I'm going to be looking from the Nation newspaper.
And I'm going to be looking from Punch newspapers.
So stay with us.
Let's go, beautiful people. ṣe bá
It's honestly, Spring Delight is always one program that it brings out the very best between the directors, our producers, and us here. Things go behind the scene you probably don't see, but then it's always exciting to be here. And let's welcome you once again if you're just joining us on the program for today. Let's go straight to the newspaper review. And just before we went on that break, we told you I have the Punch newspaper. I have the Nation newspaper. I beg your pardon. GBK? I got
the Punch newspapers.
Let's welcome our in-house analyst. I had to drag him from. We are grateful. Thank you. Barrister Moses Obaditon, a barrister, an analyst for excellence, joining us as always. Thank you most sincerely.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Barrister, I know you have been you're trying to mediate into the fact that this Naira crisis must subside and must clear up. But let me look at my first story from the Nation newspaper for today, saying this Naira crisis, 2 feared killed as protests erupt in Lagos and Rivers State. What do you make of this? Why are we having this at this moment? What can be done to stem the tide as to this crisis?
Well, it's a step to anarchy. When the state takes the people for granted, the people must react. But unfortunately, the government are coming too little, too late. And you're asking, what do we do? What the government should do would be to copy what Sanwo-Olu has done in Lagos. Get the POS by various governors, let them have it without any charges, and then give food to the hungry and the angry. When you do that, things will do. And I also want to play that if you don't do that, people will not come out to vote by this time next Saturday.
Barrister, before I allow GBK to come up here, the election is just 1 week from now.
Yeah.
And with this crisis that we are having, can the election still hold?
It may, because the provision is in the Electoral Act, which says that if the INEC show that there are going to be breakdown of law and order, they could shift. However, when things are like this, they don't have a way of mounting or surmounting problems. And it happens on many occasions. Even in 2019, you realize the election was shifted for about 2 weeks. So, remember they say February, eventually it came up in March. So, but this one, if government mean business, and that's why you see most of the governors are the one crying, because they need money for their food soldier. So, and I can guess by Tuesday, Wednesday, money will be in circulation, whatever it takes. Our father used to say, the woman doesn't need to lack when it comes into making stew. And so I see Nigerian government and the politicians bring out for the people if they want them to be at the poll.
All right, GBK.
So, okay, I'm taking mine from Punch newspapers. This one says, Tinubu remains Buhari's candidate. No plan for interim presidency. The presidency on Friday said there are no plans by the president, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, to extend his tenure beyond May 29, 2023 to install an interim government. I mean, what do you say to that? Do you still think Tinubu remains the candidate Buhari has always opted for?
No.
Okay, tell me about that. I would really want to hear.
They asked the president some months back, say, who is your candidate? Say, if I reveal my beloved candidate, he will be eliminated. Yes, and that's before they went to primary. And eventually when they went to primary, you can see the body language of the president, you can see the body language of the chairman of APC, that Tinubu was not actually their candidate. But now that the man has emerged, you don't kill a baby that is born. If you do that, that's murder. You can only terminate a pregnancy at a very early stage. Right. If you go to the advanced, the mother and the child will go for it. So now that APC have become the flag bearer, even over the weekend, the boy was still saying, vote for your candidate.
Even on Thursday.
Whereas even Obama has to campaign for Hillary Clinton. Here, Obasanjo campaign for Yar'Adua, campaign for Jonathan. So why see, if it's your candidate, campaign for him. You have the legitimate, you have the constitutional backing. So if he's chicken up, like the American would say, it shows that he's not fully backing the man. And can see the man also throwing missiles. They want to enslave him. They want this election on to. They will starving on with money. So you see how divided is against itself. So we pray they will be able to stand.
Why do you think that is happening this time, though? I mean, it's the same party.
Yeah.
It's the same party. So what is really going on? Why is there fire all of a sudden?
Yes.
The house is not in order.
If you look at the background, it's like a young man who is impoverished, and he saw a beautiful man like you now, and then you have money, you have the substance, and then you decide to marry. But eventually, the man have money. Because he now got money, we now begin to look at, is this woman as beautiful as I thought? And before you know it, you begin to move on, and that will happen. If you read, there's a book called The Marriage of an Ansewa. It was authored by a Ghanaian. So that is what happened. It's a marriage that was cocked up because one of them needs the wedlock. The Buhari need the wedlock, and that's why it's in Abeokuta, remember the history because of time. He said the man was almost giving up. I encourage him. And so he need the encouragement, he need this financial backup. He did it. And then the wife of Tinubu was saying, even after the election, my husband was just dropping the waste bin. And when 2019 was coming up, the man has to add a bullion van to come. Why? He said, it's my party. It's my substance. I've not taken corner, so I have to back up. So each time the man needs the other man, he comes. But when he got what he took, he pushed him to the... And that white man said, damn me, or nobody.
Yeah.
On the body,
so that is, it has not been a very smooth marriage. It has been a marriage of convenience.
A marriage of
convenience.
All right, let's talk petrol subsidy here from the Nation newspaper. Petrol subsidy now above 400 billion naira monthly. That's credited to NNPCL here. Let me just take a part of that report here. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, now spent over 400 billion naira monthly to subsidize the premium motor spirit, PMS, better known as petrol. This was disclosed yesterday, Friday, by the NNPCL Group Chief Executive Officer, Mele Kyari, at the oil firm's ongoing final cut over to NNPC Limited from being a corporation. According to Kyari, the oil company now spends about 202 a subsidy on every liter of petrol consumed across the country. He added that NNPL pumps about 65 million liters of PMS daily into the market to keep the country wet. Further stated that will continue to meet its obligations by providing PMS for Nigeria. Kyari pointed out that the over 400 billion naira monthly subsidy has been a severe strain on NNPCL's cash flow. What do you make of this subsidy? Should subsidy, we've been saying it before now, that should it be scrapped? Remember what happened at Ojota a couple of years ago when Jonathan was president? But now they are coming to tell us that they spend 400 billion naira on a monthly basis.
For you to understand the nitty-gritty of this issue, you must realize that NNPC is operating in darkness. There's no accountability. And secondly, I want to take you back to as far as 2012, when the then finance minister, Okonjo-Iweala, said that these people who are coming with subsidies and claiming that most of them only come to collect money without delivering the products. And the arrests were made. Some big businessmen were charged to come, but that was the end of the story. And even when Buhari himself was campaigning in 20%, he said subsidies is a fraud. By the time he got there, he realized that it's one thing to be outside, it's another to be within. And so within, there have been some people who are playing with figures. Number one, if we had as accountability and openness, what are we consuming as a nation? Each state, what are they consuming? And then how do you get your products? Why is it making it difficult? You say you are subsidizing, and yet people are paying 400, 500. So where is the subsidy? Who is consuming it? Where are the products, which is not even available? So that's why I said it's a fraudulent kind of thing. And the government are aware. And apart from it, you need to look at other areas, such as the distribution. Somebody who was within the NNPC told us that NNPC is the sole importer. If you are the sole importer and here you don't have storage facility, so you have to approach private individual to help you store this product. That shows you are not a good businessman. So the first thing the NNPC ought to do is to have a facility or facilities where they will be storing the product. But because of this one, they now drop. Other people will add their money. There are those people who call the major marketer. Their price will be 172. Those who are not will sell to the second. Second will sell to the third. So no country runs the economy like that. So it shows to us that both from the Minister of Petroleum, which double as the president, have not done his job.
Yeah, right.
In another country, Kyari should have gone. Because we say you are importing and people are not getting it. Things are getting harder and you are approaching election. Something has gone wrong. And we must ask some people to go. Except they do it, it continues to be a fraudulent, concussion, conspiracy among the elites.
All right.
Yeah, so let me take this from Punch. Protesters target banks, ATMs, battle security forces. We're made to understand that more protests broke out in Lagos, Ogun, Rivers, Ondo, and Oyo State on Friday over the crisis trailing the new Naira design policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria and the attendant scarcity of the currency. So much has been going on. We've seen like they've been burning down, blocking the roads and all that. So what do you think? Don't you think this is going to bring about anarchy?
We're already in it. It's just, you should be asking, how do we get out of this anarchical society? The solution is for us to be open, just as I said. There's a paper before me. I would have loved you to look at the editorial comment. This is Thursday edition of Punch. In one of the lines, El-Rufai said a governor collected 500 million of this new currency. And that's why you see the governor are the one at the front. Hey, let's go to court. Because they need the money for this weekend election, this coming election. And so that is why most of the money that will have been made available at the ATM, the one at the counter, were just not there. The elites are the one in charge. The 2% of elite are the one in charge of 98%, which is contrary to Section 16 of the Nigerian Constitution. What does that section say? It said the economy of the country must not be in the hands of a few. But rather it should be distributed. True. So this thing has not gone round. My brother doesn't have fuel, doesn't have currency, and yet it's working. So you want him to work here and then die. So the situation is that when you allow the monkey to walk and the bamboo to chop, then there are going to be a sort of disorder, and that's what you are witnessing. So what the government should do is to put their thinking cap. Look around. Why is it that banks are not working? Why is it that Ghana, which is not up to your state, is getting fuel? They have their banking working. Why is it that Britain, bigger in population, the economy far better than all, they are changing currency and people are not protected? Why don't they copy? Why don't they go to Cameroon? They've just changed their own. And look at Libya. They've changed their own 10 years. Both currency are going together. So if you said, maybe you have some people you are targeting, there's another approach to do it. The approach is to get the EFCC, get the soldier, get the army. If you are sure of your fact, go to their building. Please, we are here to search your house. If they don't, if you give fire for fire. By the time you get there, you get the money you are going. Yeah, we've seen some money that is already, old, dilapidated, and corrosive. Then the question is it because you want to get a rat that you have to set the whole house in a fire?
Right.
The fire is burning already, like in Soweto. So what the government should do is to change their style. Bring in the money. Give the people palliative. Give them food. During the COVID, you know what they do in Western countries. They have the money. So it's like what Chinua Achebe said. He said, those that live by the River Niger side must not wash their hand with spittle. We live in Wales, and yet we're impoverished. So it is time for us to begin to open our eyes. So when election is coming, it's not party. Use your card, voting the people that wipe away your tears.
Before we allow Barrister Badington to go, this time next week will be time to go to the polls.
That's it.
What's your message to Nigerians?
My message is to encourage government, especially the government of Osun, because Osun has tried to settle down. Use what Sanwo-Olu is using. You have security allowance. Make POS available. It's not free money. Those who want to have money, let them use it. Have it then. Let bank also fortify their security. Let ATM work. If you don't give out money, people will not come out. And then too, we are appealing to those who are angry. If you cut off the head, it's not the solution to headache. What you should do is to put your thinking corner. There will always be an alternative. We have gone through this one in 1984. So coming for us, those who are witnessing it today is not new. But since we saved through in 84, certainly 2023 will not be the end of the matter. Please, we encourage everybody, come out. Government, give them money. Political elect, let money be there. Less money come. Once money come, people are not. The Nigerians have the very good people you can lead, but you don't make people to see you are living well and they are living in abject poverty. It cannot work.
We'd like to thank you, Barrister Moses Obaditon, a barrister at law. Thank you most sincerely for this opportunity. And I know you're ready to use your PVCA again next week. You do it rightly.
Thank you.
so help us God.
Yes.
Amen.
All right. Stay with us. It's still Spring Delight. When we return, we'll give you all that we have put together. Our guests are in the house at this moment in time. Please don't go nowhere.
Love you. I wanna be with you both night and day. lọ o ó máa bá ẹ lọ ni o bébí o jẹ́ máa bá ẹ lọ o ó máa bá ẹ lọ ni o ó jẹ́ máa bá ẹ lọ o ó máa bá ẹ lọ ni o baby I wanna love you ó máa bá ẹ lọ ni o ó máa bá ẹ lọ ó máa bá ẹ lọ ni o baby I wanna love you ó máa bá ẹ lọ ni o ó máa bá ẹ lọ oh yes ó máa bá ẹ lọ give me the arms give me the arms.
Great. Jibike.
Yes, it's so good to be back, and I hope you're enjoying us. Yes, and right now we have Mr. Badru as Shimiyu or Lawale here today. What do you say to that?
Yeah, he is the chairman-elect, Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria, Osun State Chapter, and is currently the Zonal Secretary, Amban Oshogbo Zone. I hope I got Amban.
Yes, sir, you're correct.
Good. Mr. Badru, a pleasure to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We'll be talking about, I don't know, let me ask Jibike.
I do have a question though. What is Amban?
Okay.
No, the full meaning of AMBAN is Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in
Oh,
Nigeria.
okay, that is where you got that
So
from.
it's the umbrella body for the totality of all agents that are using POS across the country.
Right, but here you're the chairman-elect Osun State Chapter.
Yes, sir.
In the last couple of days, whereby Nigeria has Nigerians are facing this new Naira redesign policy, your members have been
Not fair.
not fair, exploiting because if you before now, even if I have to pick 5,000 naira, it's 100 naira, but 5,000 naira now is 1,000 naira, 10%. It's rampant. Is it a collaboration by Amban that this is how you should go about it, or what measures is this association taking concerning that?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I want to take exception to that notion that AMBAN members are overcharging or making life inconvenient for our people.
Okay.
That is not correct. Because AMBAN as an association is a patriotic organization. We have time without numbers issued memos and press releases to the fact that our members must act within the stipulated level of charging. The situation that we have in the country now call for a serious concern. But we know that the new Naira notes are not available in circulation. This is a serious matter. And we know that those that are involved in this matter of overcharging are not actually POS agents. Majority of them are people who have become operators overnight. You understand what I'm saying? Let me say they have access to these funds in a way that is not authorized, not unauthorized manner. So some of them bought this new Naira notes. They are not our members. Presently, our members are facing a lot of challenges. If you go through the cities now, we found that majority of POS operators are closed down because they don't have access to fund to transact with. So people go to places like fuel station, like supermarkets, to go and get this money. That is where they overcharge them. They are not POS agents. So that is clear enough.
Okay.
For those of us that are super agents, no matter the amount that we are able to raise, we make sure that we use it to service our customers in the normal charging rates. Because most of our agents that are into cash in and cash out, they are out of business presently. So, but for those of us that are super agents, we are able to raise some funds from other sources.
Okay.
For example, now we are involved in agency banking, opening of accounts, BVN, NIN. Those are the areas that we source some other funds.
Okay.
When these funds are available, we make it available to the public. So we don't overcharge.
Wow. All right.
So I'm going to ask you, is there a way you monitor your members though? Is there a way you keep track of what they do? I mean, you can't see everything.
Exactly, sir. Because we have zona heirs across the zones. In Osun State, we have about 9 zones that have their zona heirs. They monitor the activities of our members. First of all, we issue directives to the fact that any of our member who is found wanting in this situation, they are liable to face the consequences. And we have joined other organizations like ICPC, like EFCC, like the CBN to do this monitoring. We actually joined them to arrest some of the unregistered agents who are involved in this trading of new Naira notes. Great. So they're not our members.
Oh, great. Mr. Badru, let's look at the issues of this new Naira notes and the POS, your POS
Yes,
operators around Osun State here. At least I've experienced one where there was a crisis between the POS. He was debited, but they could not. So that's vis-a-vis. Do you hold meetings to be able to ascertain that, okay, I'm a member, she's this? Do you guys come together? Are there? Is it a fortnight thing, or how do you do? Just as you said, how do you monitor your members? Then how do you know these are the set of people? And we as citizens, nobody puts a signboard on his or her face.
Yeah.
How do we know who are your super agents?
Thank you very much. First of all, the question of debiting is a rampant thing now because the network is experiencing a lot of crowd. And when this happens, we know that there will be traffic congestion. So that is affecting the operations of the NIBBSS, the interbank settlement system, which is in charge of movement of cash between banks. The settlement is having a lot of network glitch, and this is affecting transactions. Like 2 days ago now, virtually all banks have network downtime, and this affected deposit transactions. They are not eating the recipient accounts. In fact, as I was coming here, we just settled some cases in police station.
Oh my goodness.
Involving our members.
Oh my goodness.
Because they have to be arrested and taken to police custody on matters relating to these issues. So for the training, our members are well trained. They know how to handle issues like that. For example, the issue even involved a police officer, an SCP for that matter. So we have to settle this matter in a very oriented way, amicably. So it's resolved.
Great. All right.
Okay. So what does it take to be a part of to be a part of AMBAN?
Thank you very much. AMBAN, as I said earlier, is an association of mobile money agents and bank agents. So for you to be a member of AMBAN, you have to be fully registered. We have the portal that members have to get registered. And after getting registered, they are certified. They are equally issued membership ID card. So these are ways that we know who are fully registered members. AMBAN is a registered organization with CBN, and we are a member of FISCO, the Financial Inclusion Steering Committee of the CBN. So we monitor these financial inclusion activities day in, day out. Even the deposit swap, the money swap, cash swap, cash distribution, and cash deposit. These are the 3 areas of the policy. We are involved fully. So when the portal was put on about 3 days ago, we were fully involved. In fact, we were test running the portal together to make some adjustments on how best it can work. So these are what we do.
Let me look at this aspect of your collaboration with banks and how it's been smooth. But these days we begin to find some of this POS. I know they might not be registered members, but how you guys go out to pick up all those brandishing Naira notes by the roadside. They can change new currency, new notes, even before the new redesigned notes, brand new notes that people want to take to parties. do you have any collaboration with banks or to be able to pick up all these guys who stay by the roadside? And you and I'm looking for how to get even just 1,000 naira now.
Honestly.
It's serious.
Honestly.
Thank you very much. We have collaboration with the banks because the banks committee are also part of the fiscal. We meet together.
And are they not part of your people on the road that even when the likes of us want to get money, we don't get, but those on the road can actually get money?
The issues that we have around that, number one is that we actually advised the CBN to make use of the agents properly in its cash swap and cash distribution programs. But we don't know what happened along the line. The banks that are now congested, it has posed a lot of security threats to our banking system. Even as I'm speaking now, the APFI, the Organization of Bankers in Nigeria, they have instructed their members across states where there were pockets of troubles in banks to stay away from banking. That's a serious matter now. Like Edo State now, after the issue that came up earlier this week, the banks are closed down in that state. Now, the governor of the state and the CBN and the AMBAN, they have to form a committee that will work on how to ameliorate this situation. And it is perfectly working out now. That's what we advise the CBN to do. Working with agents will always give credible results. So, in fact, we'll have decongested the crowd we are witnessing in the banks now. What we advise is that the agents that are registered, if you go to CBN portal, you will see a section where all registered agents are listed. Some of our names are there.
Oh, great.
So in your locality, you can find who is a registered agent. So if CBN makes use of this facility, we say that they should issue out 500,000 naira per day to each of the super agents who have the facility, the staff, and the strength to ensure that this thing is done seamlessly. But this has not been honored. And that is why we are still witnessing what we have today. Because in our location now, per day we have more than 500 people that will show up willing to get money. Because we cannot say everything should go cashless. For example, you want to board a taxi, you want to board an Okada man, you have to make transfer. You may have to even wait for an hour or more.
Absolutely.
Trying to do it with the network challenges we are facing.
Absolutely.
So for us to, first of all, settle this matter, let the agent be properly segmented and recognized. If we are given this opportunity, we believe that we will have this issue amicably resolved record time.
All right.
Oh, okay. So do your association advise the CBN to use the microfinance banks and not just the commercial banks?
I don't want to say that because the microfinance bank may not have the wherewithal to get these things done.
Oh, okay.
But super agents have been onboarded. They have the facilities. Even presently, we have been opening accounts for so many unbanked Nigerians because of this cashless policy. So we have the facility. Most of the microfinance, but I don't want to dabble into that too much because we may be say something that is not allowed. So our advice is that agents that have been recognized, that have been registered, that the CBN knows should be used to tackle this situation.
Now, how has AMBAN fared here in our dear state of Osun State?
AMBAN is doing well because AMBAN has been assisting Osun State for the past 8 years.
8 years?
Yes.
Great.
As far back as 2016. So we have had a lot of programs and activities. Now, in Osun State now, our members are equally part of the cash swap.
Okay.
We know that.
Okay.
But the condition that the CBN gives is that the cash swap must be done at the interlands. You understand? The villages and rural communities, which is being done very well. But the challenges we now have is that the cities, the urban areas are now in trouble. So I think it is time for us to now look at the side of the people in urban communities, so that we can tackle the challenges we may be facing. Because going on now, there will be more challenges of fund, because the fund is now very scarce. Before now, we still have people that are having it, that gives it out. But now, if you try to even get 5,000 naira, you may have to go to 5 places
Yes.
to get it. 1,000 here, 500 there, that is not convenient for our people. So we think that the CBN can still bring up more ideas and innovations to tackle this situation.
From your own perspective, do you think Nigeria is ripe for this cashless policy?
Well, one way or the other. Because the financial inclusion policy has been in existence since 2012. And we have been getting results. Because last year now, the value of transaction that was done by POS was estimated to about 8 trillion naira. So if this is done, we believe that our people have been financially included to a better extent. So with this cashless policy, we say that it has good intention, because the objectives of the cashless policy are very good. We key into it, and we believe that it is good for our country. But the implementation needs some remodification, so that the people will not have to bear the hardship for too long. So we can do this cashless policy, but at the same time make available enough cash that will take care of the transactional motives of the financial policy. Understand what I'm saying? Not that you need 5,000, you are unable to get it. We don't encourage people moving around with huge amount of money. It is not advisable, especially for security reasons. So, but for people to get access to the little that they need, it is important for us to resolve that area. What we have equally observed is that some of our people are holding the money. Some people have it. They are not spending it. They will still go out looking for more. This is not a good way. But I've seen some people doing that.
But why?
When they ask you, I want to withdraw 5,000, there is no money. You see them bring out the money. I have 6,000, but I don't want to spend it. I want more before I spend this. It is a kind of orientation that we have. We need to change it.
Absolutely.
So our people are also adding to the hardship. Some people have 100,000 of this, they have been piling it up, small, and they keep it. So if the money in circulation is circulating, we are not keeping it or holding it, we believe that we won't have this much challenges that we are having now.
So is Amban working in rural areas though?
Yes, we are everywhere in the state. We are everywhere. We have our members doing that.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Mr. Badru, before we allow you go this morning, Nigerians are facing a very tough time.
Exactly. So.
And I would say, because you're not, I don't know, maybe you're a politician.
I'm not.
What's your message to everybody out there who will be going out next week? We'd like to use our platform to make sure that we create an atmosphere of peace in every way. Please, your message to Nigerians out there.
Peace is important. And we really don't need to destroy our things, because these things will still bounce back to us. For example, in places where things have been destroyed, the banking activities have been shut down.
Absolutely.
And the people that will equally feel this are the people themselves. So we don't need to do this. We need to be patient with our policymakers. And where we feel challenged, we should rather voice out and not necessarily resort to confrontational protests. So that is my message. Let us allow peace to reign.
It's been nice speaking with Mr. Badru Asimiyu Olawale. He's the chairman-elect, Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria, Osun State Chapter. That's Amban. He's currently the Zonal Secretary, Amban Oshogbo Zone. Thank you most sincerely for joining us.
Thank you very much, sir.
And did you come with your ATM? So that
So that
I
what?
think you even give me some cash.
Really?
to bank
Did you
with.
just say
your
that?
POS rather? Did you come with your POS machine? So
We
could
have
withdraw?
it, but we have to deposit now. We need some new notes.
But,
Guys are waiting for you outside to give them cash.
You're serious on that.
all right, it's still
Thank
Spring
you very
Delights
much.
coming to you from Western Spring Television. When we come back, our next guest will be here. We have quite a whole lot to serve you. Ajibike and I definitely quite a whole lot to serve you.
Yes.
Please stay with us.
Baba mi don't be left out. Alamoge tayo rapa. Sisi mi to wo mi leta. Baba mi don't be left out. Baba ìláyàn fẹ́ Elédùmarè o jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi. Ẹ̀yà àdàbò iṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi. Ẹ̀yà gbárùkù ti iṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi. Bàbá láyàn fẹ́ Ọlọ́run sábì o jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi. Ẹni títà lówó kan tún fún lórúkọ jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi. Ìtàlówó àyìnbé wọn tún fún lórúkọ jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi. Wọ́n lámàgbàlá òní kápọ́dì tutù ó jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi. Wàsíù Àyìndé kápọ́dì tutù jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi. Wọ́n lọ́ba àwọn ọba tó ń kọ́ fújì ó jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi. Alágídí èèyàn òyà wá sójàdá ó jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi. Alágídí èèyàn kò yà wá sójàdá ó jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi. Bó bá sójàdá tó kọ́ ló lẹ́kìn kan jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi. Jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi ó. Jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi. Jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi ó. Jẹ́jọ́ Màríyá mi.
aláwárí aláwákàn aláwárí lórúkọ tá à ń pe ifá aláwákàn lórúkọ tá à ń pe èṣù ọ̀dàrà alárìmọ́ lórúkọ tá à ń pe ìyàmí àjẹ́ ìrètẹ́ ẹ rí lónìí ò ní bọ́ lọ́wọ́ yín ó ti dàṣẹ ó ti dègún ó ti dèpè ọ̀rọ̀ tarúgbó bá sọ kẹ́yìn báyìí ègún ní í ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó rí ajígbèrèkò òjì kùtùkùtù yọ̀dà òǹdè ó ti dègún ó ti dèpè tí mo bí lónìí ó dàṣẹ àníkún owó àníkún ọlà ẹ kọ́lé mọ́lé ẹ ní wàásù ọ̀sẹ̀ káàkiri mọ́ gbogbo pọ́njú ayé yín ó ti dún ìgbàgbé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó rí ọ̀tàtà ìwọ ló sẹ́ni ìwọ ló ṣèyàn ó ti kígbe lọ wọgbó igbó ọ̀làtẹ́kẹ́ ẹ̀ ní wọgbó ẹ̀ ní dẹni ẹ̀sìn ẹ̀ ní dẹni ìyà ire owó kọ́ máa bá yín lọ ire owó kọ́ máa bá yín lọ ire owó kọ́ máa bá yín lọ ajígbèrèkò òjì kùtùkùtù mọ́kún ọ̀là dání ajígbèrèkò lórúkọ tá à ń pe ifá òjì kùtùkùtù mọ́kún ọ̀là dání lórúkọ tá à ń pe èṣù ọ̀dàrà ire owó kọ́ máa bá yín gbé ire owó kọ́ máa bá yín lọ àṣẹ ńlá níbẹ̀ lẹ́nu ọká àṣẹ kọlọ̀bọ̀ níbẹ̀ lẹ́nu lákọ̀ṣẹ èyí awílónìí ó ti dà àṣẹ ó ti dèkún ó ti dèpè ọ̀rọ̀ tàrúgbó bá sọ kàn báyìí ègún ní í ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni olóyè máa wí ogun tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ẹ máa wí ogun tẹ́ bá fẹ́. ó ti rí bí ó ti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ 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 ó ti rí bí ó ti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀.
My husband does not even have a lawyer. Talk less of writing a will. Now, kò sí properties ọkọ mi kankan tí ìṣòro pẹ̀lú àfàdéwà ni. Ẹjọ́ tó ló ti kọ ètò kọjá lọ.
Ṣo fẹ́ mọ̀ tó mi?
Ṣẹ́yìn ìmọ̀kọ mi tóbi. Ṣẹ́yìn àtẹ̀lẹ́jọ́ ń sọjọ́ jì.
Ibo ló sọ fún ọ̀nà fún ẹ.
Kí ni ìyẹn fi kọ́ ẹ̀yìn? Ọkọ mi ni ó ń travel ló máa sọ pé báwo ń travel ọ̀rẹ́ yìí, so that's not a big deal.
Well, for your information, ọ̀dọ̀ lọ́yà lọ.
Spare me this.
ti yá ojúmọ́ ti mọ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi ẹ̀gbọ́nra jìgì kátúnramú oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ alákọ̀wé gbogbo ẹni tó ń wáṣẹ́ ọmọlé ìwé o òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa ríre o ẹni máa ríre o wọ́n á ṣe bá òwúrọ̀ òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa ríre o ẹni máa ríre o wọ́n á ṣe bá òwúrọ̀ o let's go my beautiful sisters.
òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa ríre o ẹni máa ríre o wọ́n á ṣe bá òwúrọ̀ òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa ríre o ẹni máa ríre o wọ́n á ṣe bá òwúrọ̀ o.
ṣèbà òwúrọ̀ o, let's go once again.
òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa ríre o ẹni máa ríre o wá ṣèbà òwúrọ̀. òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa ríre o ẹni máa ríre o wá ṣèbà òwúrọ̀.
Good morning, I greet you. How do you do? Good morning, I greet you. We got some work to do. Good morning, I greet you. How was your night? Good morning, I greet you. It will be a beautiful day. If you do your work with honesty and pride, you will find your dreams coming true very soon. Said if we could be patient and live within the law, there will be much progress. Everyone will be happy. Good morning, I greet you. How do you do? Good morning, I greet you. We got some work to do.
There's always a problem with Ani Baba Biodun. I don't know. We'll find a way around it. They're looking for people to help them in Syria and Turkey. They need help for people to pack rubble. So I'm nominating you.
You want to migrate him over there?
Yeah, he needs to. Seriously. If you're just joining us, thank you most sincerely for being there. Spring Delight is the program. And earlier before now, we had the opportunity of speaking with the chairman-elect of the Association of Mobile Money Banking Association, whereby they came to tell us quite a whole lot about their association and their super agents. Thank you for being there, Mr. Badru, for coming. At this moment in time, there's another guest in the house who will reel out quite a whole lot of what he's done, but I'll leave that to Ajibike to tell us something about him.
Yes, you know what they say, all work cannot play makes Jack a dull boy. I mean, we've been talking about everything that is happening in Nigeria. I just felt it's about time for us to go on a lighter note and come with something different and outside the box. Yes, his name is Akin Okunade, and he's a film coordinator and he's an actor too, and then he has acted in a whole lot of movies, and to bag it all, he is certified in cinematography and film studies at Ajayi Crowther University. And now there's this thing that is interesting about it. He is a teacher too. I am really excited to bring him on board. You're so welcome, Mr. Isiaq Okunade.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank you. Wait, before I allow her to take the first question, please, what are you teaching?
Well, the person sitting in front of you is the General Secretary of all tutorial centers in Nigeria. Okay. So I take English. I'm just coming from a class, literature in English. Government, I have a textbook for that, and a whole lot more like that.
Then how do you combine? You act, you produce, you're a cinematographer, you teach.
That is the idea. You can't be in Nigeria and you just tell me you just want to sit down and do one thing. This is a wise man. Trust me. Do you agree with me, TD? He's a wise man.
Absolutely, he is. He's a that's like a quadruple of stuffs. Yeah, I don't want to answer what I just heard, but let's just get down straight to the program properly. How did this start? Where did you start from? Most people would say I've been singing from my mother's womb. Right. I don't know, maybe you've been acting from the womb as well. But tell us, how did this start?
Yeah, well, I did not actually start from my own mother.
Nice.
My own is that I've actually had this dream of actually, let me say, passion.
Okay.
When I was growing up, I never had the opportunity of actually, channeling this kind of dream into reality. So at a point in time, I got fulfilled, I think early, that was in 2012, 2013. I was a kind of, okay, we say people die. And the most regrettable thing in life is that if you are not able to fulfill your dreams, that is what you can actually regret even when you leave this world. So what is that thing that I still want to do, that I actually want the people to see I can do? For example, there was a time I was having a tete-a-tete with Ibrahim Chatta. There was this popular news that he said he was not going to be on set again because he wants to fulfill other dreams.
Yeah.
So he said something to me that at a point in his life, he cried on his bed because of the fact that he knows how to sing more than how to act.
He knows
How to sing?
how to sing more than
how
act.
to act.
That's deep.
And the world does not even know. So that is why he wants to just cut everything short and go deeper into singing.
To music.
So that was what actually prompted me as well. That, okay, I have passion for acting. Let me just go for this thing. Now, I was looking for a channel, a proper channel. So there was a day I was just going through some news feed on my Facebook, and I saw one of my junior when I was in school who was actually on set. Then I chatted him up that, see, I'm interested in this thing. I don't mind how much it's going to take me. I just want to actually delve into this field. So that was how we got talking, and he said I should come. That's okay. If I want to do this, I should just start producing. I don't know anything about this thing. I just have passion for it. He said, just do it that way, because the first thing people will actually want you to do when they know quite well that you have some wherewithal to actually finance it, is that try and produce. I told them, like, how much? He said, do I have up to like 500,000? I was like, wow, 500 for movie production. He said, that's simple? I said, yeah, sure. I said, okay, don't worry. I have 200 because I know I have it, but notwithstanding, my native intelligence is telling me I may actually be wasting my money. So I said, I need a collaboration. So one of them said, okay, I'm going to bring out at least 200,000 again. So that we started with one production like that. Although it was a poor one, but notwithstanding, it's actually, that was how or where everything actually sprang from. So that was it.
Oh, how many movies have you done? How many movies have you been involved in first, before we look at how many you have done?
More than 50.
Come again?
More than 50. There are many popular ones you have actually watched that you don't even know I am the one. There is one like, there are many in the cinemas. There is one like that they call Monsura Keke. Those people that actually watch Yoruba movie very well.
Yeah, DBK is one.
So I was the one that was actually saluting Odunlade Adekola as a police officer. That's one thing I am trying to correct in the industry. There are some people, you make them a stock character. That's the problem. And anytime you see me, you see this is a policeman. At a point, policemen they even salute me when I'm actually driving. Because they have actually stereotyped me like Awolabi Ajasha in Ogun State, who has been doing all this police role for a very long time. So at a point, the guy actually goes into police stations and release people. But they actually see him as
an officer.
As an officer, although theatrical in quotes.
Yeah.
So that is what they actually see me as when it comes to movies. And I tell them, let's change this narrative. I may be tall, I may have all the physical structure, but notwithstanding, I have other roles I can actually do. And ever since I started this kind of gospel, they have actually featured me as a Yahoo boy.
Oh, that's good. I would love to see that.
A lover boy. I've actually played lover boy with different stars and doctor. So I've been doing that often, but still, the last movie they actually called me for, the last one I actually did, that it was a lover boy anyway. But the one before that, I rejected it. That was from Italy, that I should come and lead a police team. I said no. If it's not going to be a sub-lead, maybe it's going to be just one scene, two scene, I am not cut out for that, because I have other things that actually take my time. I have like two tutorial centers in Osogbo here. So if I'm going to leave all this in the hand of someone else, then definitely it must actually worth it. So I've actually acted more than 50 movies, and I can't just name them.
Now we have a lot of people who say they know how to act. A lot of people just want to dabble into it, like, oh, I'm an actress, I am an actor. Now, do you think people still come into this thing just because they can act, or because it is a rise to stardom, or because of this the money thing that is going to come along the line? Why do you think people really dabble into it right now?
Well, I have a lot of people that actually want to be apprenticed under me. So when they come, I have like 2 common questions I ask them. Once they actually answer the question, I know quite well they are not ready for it.
Okay, can you?
The first thing is that, where lies your passion? Do you actually want to act because you actually love it? Even if they don't give you a penny, will you still be happy that you have actually acted? Or you want to actually come in because you want to make money? And they tell me, Anna, I want to, why would I be acting that you won't give me money? I told them, till now, I'm spending on acting and movie production. I don't really get, it is not a source of income for me.
Okay.
But because of the fact that when you are doing something that is your passion, then definitely you won't even know, or you won't even realize that they didn't give you a penny, because I wasn't collecting anything. There is one thing I shouldn't be saying on air, which is actually pertinent about Yoruba genre.
Okay.
Because one thing is the fact that when you act, they see it as if they have actually helped you.
When you act, they see it as if you've been helped.
You have been helped.
Are you serious?
Oh, okay.
So definitely you have to pay them. If they don't help,
So they're doing you a favor.
Oh, are you kidding me? So those of us whereby we just sit back to watch you guys, there's quite a whole lot that's going on.
Unless you're a movie star.
Unless you're a movie star.
So if you're actually coming up, nobody knows you. They are just telling you that there are hundreds of your like that want to be in that position. So after they give you, even if they give you more than 4 or 5 roles, then you have to pay some tips on that location. So that's why most people, if you actually want to get deeper into, if you want to actually get stardom, Yoruba will actually give you. If you want money, go to English. That is why you have the likes of Dina Lowo, who actually, dabble into the Yoruba. That is where he actually got the fame. He got the money somewhere else. He got the fame here. So that's why you see some people like, what's the name of this guy? He was also in the English genre before he actually entered into the Yoruba genre. Yeah. So when you do stuff like that, that's why right now we have an association we call Tampan. Tampan is trying to change the whole narrative. We call it Walk and Live. I was one of those they actually interviewed to talk about Walk and Live. They have a magazine like that. So I told them that there are people till now, like a decade ago, and there are many people that are there more than 25 years. They've never seen them like they have actually seen me. What is the difference? Because of the fact that I was using at least my own resources to push myself. Some of them don't have the capacity to do that. Oh my goodness. So because I was doing this, I have a car. Sometimes when you go to a location and they see you have a car, so definitely they see you as a lesser burden. Okay. They want you to be around, so that at least one way or the other, if they are short of some things, they can actually talk to you. So that was the leverage I actually had, and the education I have. We have a lot of semi-illiterate and illiterate people. So we are trying to change the narrative. That was why the idea of actually going to school to have a certificate, because we are coming to a point in Nigeria that if you don't have a certificate, you won't be able to sell paper in the market. The certification stuff. So that is why the Tampan president is trying as much as possible to make sure that at least everybody is certified. If you don't have O level, there is a kind of course you can actually do at least to show that at least you have something to show. Not that you just came one day, you joined, and for more than 20 years, you don't have anything to actually. Now,
talking about having a car though, you have a car and the fact that you have the resources to push yourself, does it make it right though? Does it mean like a lesser man who can't afford this luxury, who doesn't have a car, who can't afford to push, you're not supposed to be found there? you have to lag behind just because you're financially handicapped.
So that's why a whole lot of people are not known to today. We have a lot of talent in the industry.
Doesn't even make it right.
We have a lot of talent. And one thing is the fact that we still have the issue of, we all know that sex escapades, that's okay. If you don't sex for roles, that if you don't have these, that's it. But I don't want to dabble into that anyway.
Please don't.
It's too sensitive. So, but when you have, like when I have my own car and I go to the location, so most of the time, even the production manager wants me to do something before he can actually give me a particular role. So when someone else actually come before me, who could actually tip, even if the person is not as good as I am in that role, then definitely the person will actually take the role. And one of the lapses we actually have that I told the president when I actually chatted him, that's Mr. Latin, that we need to be organized. You can be at a film location for more than 3 days without doing anything, wasting away 3 whole days without doing anything.
Why?
Thank you.
Ordinarily, that's the work of the production manager. You have to have the scenario of what you actually want to do. So instead of saying, okay, you are going to actually have your own shots so day, you just be here because we can just have your scene, because they want to shoot the movie, the scenes of all those stars. The stars will tell you, you are paying me for just 1 day. So I have only 24 hours with you. So just book my hotel. The following day, I am not doing anything. So anything you want to do it at once.
Right now.
Right now. So it is only the people that have to, coact with them that will be on set. So they don't follow the lineup the way it should be. So once you are not on ground, and definitely they see you as unserious, which is not found in other genres. That is why some of us in Oshogbo here, because in Osun State, we don't really have movie stars. So we actually came up with like 5 people to actually form a kind of clique we call Big Screen Entertainment. Big screen.
Okay.
That big
You've
screen.
heard?
Yeah. That Big Screen Entertainment. So we actually want to make a difference. We want to make a star out of us. We want to ensure that at least the Osun people have a sense of belonging, because the people that are producing Osun State right now, there are people that actually saw Osun as a place that you can actually spend less to actually produce. When you go to Lagos, you want to use the roadside, you have to pay. You want to use a building, you have to pay. But in Oshogbo here, we give them for free. So if they're actually using 2.5 million naira to actually shoot a movie in Lagos, they can use 1.3, 1.4 to actually shoot it here. So that is why they are. So now they are now moving back. Nothing is happening again. So that is why we actually we actually come together to form a kind of synergy, so that at least one way or the other we can actually channel that effort, and we are actually achieving.
But Mr. Akin, let's look at you, a young man in this industry. Okay. You've been able to do quite a whole lot of roles: a doctor, I think a policeman,
a lover boy, and all that.
To you and for you, which of these roles suits you the most?
Okay.
Well, honestly, because I don't want them to make me a stock character. The police role, it's just it's that's why I think the directors actually see that, and I don't, they want to, stereotype me to that. So I was trying to, so don't just take me for a police, but that police role is actually there, and the lover boy, I think.
Everybody will laugh. I think, sorry, Jubike, there's this your colleague. I'm not really too much. I'm sorry. I like your movies as well, but I really don't know your names to that. Like, most of the things he does is the lover boy. He's always doing lover boy.
Is that?
He's got Teddy. I hope I remember. Biodun Baba can always remind me. I'm trying to get. He's always playing the lover boy, and I wonder, is that the only role he can play? I've looked at the likes of Jide Kosoko.
Okay.
I love that man a great deal. I've seen Mr. Latin. You guys can diversify. You can play a role, exactly. But being just this is the only role I can play. But let's look at your first role. What role was it? And what movie was that?
My first role was the role of a doctor.
Doctor Akin.
And seriously, you just have to imagine the first time you're actually playing or you're actually acting with a superstar.
Oh, who was that?
Okay.
What's the name of this woman? This woman, I've forgotten her name. A very popular woman.
All right, go ahead.
I've forgotten her name, but if I remember anyway. So, I think the wife of Dudu Heritage, if you can remember.
Bimbo Oshin.
Bimbo Oshin, yeah.
Okay, great.
So I was even around this place.
Really?
There's one hospital around there we actually used.
Yes.
So that was Abuja Shomo. I was given the role of a doctor. There's something called fright, you know. In stage act, we call it stage fright. But if it were to be a director that was actually, a foreign director in quotes, that was actually on set that day, I will goof, I'll mess up. I know my lines, I know what I want to do, but because of the fact that it is a superstar, I want to have to, and she is going to be a nurse under me. I think it's one of the pictures.
Yeah, I think they just okay, this one in particular.
Exactly.
Yes, it is.
That was it.
Oh my goodness.
It was so spontaneous because I was just acting out of, and I think that was 2016 if I'm not mistaken. So it was a director I was used to. The man actually told me, see, you can do this.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of director I go actually.
Want to work
you can
with.
do this, okay? You know, if you just don't see him as a star, just
Do your normal thing.
So the first mistake I was actually trying to make was that I want to follow the script, word for word in tandem. So when I was talking, when I was rendering my lines, she was rendering her lines, but it was extraneous. I was at the point I was confused, but later on I got to know that I have to just act along, just the situation of the moment flow with it. I've actually seen that as a peculiarity of all stars. They don't follow scripts most times. At the point, that is one I actually sent as well. I was sitting in front of Odunlade, and he gave me a proverb. I was like, please, God. The proverb is not there. He said, no, come on, stop it.
Really?
And if I could remember the line, he said, Ago mi lo ma ṣe kíni. I said, Ago, which one is Ago?
Where do you pick that from?
No, Ago mi lo ma de adieregbenyo or something like that. He wanted me to actually complete that. I said, it wasn't in the script. He said, no, come on, bro. You have to just flow along. I said, well, one of the problems we actually have in the industry is the fact that you won't tell me the situation. You won't tell me the whole story. You give this superstar the whole story. But when you see someone like me that's okay, come and act one or two roles. I was the journalist on that's it. So I was trying to interview him. Okay. So you didn't give me the situation. So if you give me the situation and you give me this, I'll go. I will know quite well that now you will conquer them, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't give me the situation, you just give me the lines. And the actor was the kind of, you see, you're not even acting well, and you call yourself a teacher. I said, excuse me. When Odunlade came, you gave him the whole story. He understands the situation. You gave him the lines. He knows how to actually, meander his ways. But you didn't give me the whole situation. I only know, okay, I'm going to interview, I'm going to say this, so person is going to say this. So it was, so the first experience was I don't know, it was out of this world. And when I actually acted it, and people were like, a kind of, wow, it's not as if you have been acting all this. I was a kind of, wow, if not for the fact that I have a familiar face as a director, I wouldn't have done this. So it was a great experience.
This is your script, then you read it. Then how do you memorize everything from A to Z? What do you do? I don't know. Is it, or you just giving us, I know you're just giving us a brief explanation as to there could be a flow. If I say this, you could now just get along.
And also, is it true that sometimes you don't have script? You guys just come up with, just do this and just do that. And come here. Okay, now tell this lady that I want you and all that. There's no script. Is it true that does that really happen?
Most especially in Yoruba movies.
Yes.
Yes, from your own side, it happens, but not. I don't think it's been a long time I've actually come across that.
Okay.
It happens whereby they don't give you the dialogue. The dialogue is not actually in the script. They give you the situation. The boss was moving, the guy came down and he started, arguing with the lady, so thing. And the actor will just come up, hey, so this is your line. This is my line, okay? This is just a situation. So when you come down, you're going to move like this, and the lady move towards you, then he hold you from the back, then you start your lines. The first thing you are going to say is that. So that means the director will be giving you the lines on the spur of the moment.
Okay.
You understand that?
Wow.
So that is what actually happens. But actually, it's been a long time I've actually seen that.
Okay.
But in a standard form, to answer your question, there is a script. And one of the lapses I still believe we have is the fact that we don't send scripts to actors ahead.
You don't send script to actors ahead?
Ahead, you know. As I am right now, I may receive a call. Hello, my bolori set listen. They call me right now.
Really?
Yeah. And when you get there, instead of telling you, okay, this is a situation that was a man so thing, no, nothing like that. Now, your role is a police. You are leading so people into this house.
Okay.
You arrest this person, tell him you have to shut up, so thing, arrest him and go. So what happened after? That's all. So some people will just call you when they are watching my movie on African Magic. Hello, sir. Hey, Joe, what happened after so thing? I say, I don't even know the story. I've not even watched it. How come you are in this story? You were in like 2 or 3 scenes. Why don't you know what actually pans out? I would tell them I don't, because of the fact that they don't give us the narration. So if you are not actually in the industry, when I was actually out of it as well, I see it as a kind of magic. That how do they do all this conversation? Do they have a script so thing? But at a point, I actually realized that when they give you a script and they give, for me, I've actually is a gradual thing anyway. Okay. So when they give you something that is verbose, that is very so that's voluminous, at a point you realize that you go to the key. There's always a key. When I know my lines, so after I say so and what is that? Until you say that what is that, I won't cut you in.
Okay.
So when I cut you in, I know. So I would try to demarcate with my brain. That's okay. The situation is that this woman is going to the market. I have to give her money, but I don't have the money. So they will now divide the conversation into different parts. So I will know that until you say so thing, if you don't say it, I will tell them to cut it. That you are not saying, you are not giving me the key that I actually want. But at the point when you see that it is now out of the script, it is going to, it is spontaneous, then that is when you actually go out of the script. But you still know you are still within the idea you are trying to express.
Oh, okay. So now I was going to ask this though. I mean, when you watch, I mean, there is no doubt we do have the superstars, we have the super duper stars, we have the ones that are coming. Now we get to see that the ones that are the super duper stars, when they produce their movies, they go very deep. The way they go deep and the stories they give us are usually like, you sit down and you be like, where did they come about this story? So it's obvious now my question is it the fact that they have traveled far and wide, they are more exposed, and that is why their movies can be that deep, while we just do, like the Yorubas will call it orefe. We just do it like we just bring it from the head. You just do like on the street. Exactly. We don't have like something that is a story that is so deep and catchy that I really want you to elaborate on that.
Well, there was a convention we attended 2021 for all movie producers and actors. So that was when I had the privilege to have to listen to Baba Tope, who is the owner of Film One Cinema.
Okay.
So, see, many movies. That is why I would just say that the new set of, I think, for the last 1 year, that is when we have deep movies. Most of the movies we hype, they are just hyped. They are just media hype. For example, one of the movies that have touched me over time right now is Ageshinkole. I still revere the movie. So deep, Ageshinkole. King of Thieves.
Okay.
By Femi Adebayo. And one like that, I don't think it's a Nigerian movie, The Woman King.
Oh, okay. The
Woman King. So when you see some storylines, you be a kind of wow. Now, movie production is all about money.
Okay.
If I have 1 million naira, sir, I'm going to give you the orefe thing, the surface of everything, but it's still going to be cause and effects, the idea and the lessons, and that's all. The movie production right now has gone beyond what we used to produce. For example, we have the likes of King of Thieves. We have the likes of
let's just, because you're just telling me your bill is piling up. No, seriously, we appreciate some of these movies are top notch, and you guys are really doing a great job. But let's look at your participation with government. I don't know. Looking at Hollywood today in the US, it's bringing in millions and if not billions of dollars for the government. Is Nollywood bringing in anything for the government?
Well, the government is not actually helping Nollywood. Jonathan actually earmarked 3 billion naira, if I'm not mistaken, during his regime for the Nollywood. Fewer people were able to access it, especially the English genre. The Yorubas, so that is why the last election we actually had late last year, the president of Yoruba was actually saying that he is going to do everything humanly possible to ensure that at least we have access to it and we have what we can actually contribute to the government. So because of the fact that we are not, the Yorubas are not in any way, we are disconnected with the government. So we are not even raking anything in. That is why you can actually produce 1.2 million naira with for a movie, and then eventually you realize 250,000 naira. The last film I actually produced was The Haunted. Now, The Haunted, I make sure I first premiere it in the cinema. People came to watch, and I told them I'm not taking this thing to YouTube. YouTube will actually give you money, but it's just a kind of is gambling because you use 1.5 or 1.7 or 8 million to actually shoot a movie. Eventually, YouTube can actually give you 500,000. And the new rule in African Magic right now is the fact that if you have actually showed any movie on YouTube, there is no way they will actually collect it again, because people are complaining over time that they have been watching things they have watched on YouTube, and they pay in dollars. So they have actually cut the channel of the marketers who have actually, make it not lucrative to the producers. So people are so afraid to produce their money, because when you produce, eventually you realize you won't even break even. You will make half of what you have actually. That is why those people you see right now, they are producing movie with strong market strategy. That's why I call it media hype. Babatoke said it, that most of you produce good movies, but one of the things we actually see before we can actually accept any movie is the fact that do people actually want this thing? And he gave us the example of AY. AY, whenever AY produces any movie, the hyping he gives to that movie maybe even with more than what he actually used to actually produce. And before you know it, he rakes in hundreds and 200s of millions.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
So with piracy on rampant, how do you cope with this?
It's not like piracy again.
Oh, great.
Piracy is a thing of the past. That was when we actually had the DVD. But when you have the advent of YouTube now, you just go online, and the more you watch it, there is a kind of record for that. So when they pay, the TV collects 30% or 40%. The producer who actually owns the movie collects 60%. So it has actually cut short. It has truncated the activities of the pirates and the activities of the marketers.
Oh, that's good.
So you can actually approach DSTV with what you have, and they will accept it. So the world is changing. A whole lot of things are actually changing.
Is it buying it or renting it? How do you, if you have to do something with a satellite television, just as you stated, or probably let me use our station, do we have to take permission from you before we air it, or how does it go?
Well, we must actually have an agreement.
An agreement.
So you have to see the producer. Okay, you are the producer. Where is what do you call it? Where is I've forgotten. Is it, I don't want to use copyrights. I don't want to use copyrights. Okay. That's something I've forgotten. So you have to actually have it. Okay, this is the producer. Akin Okwani is the owner of this thing.
Yes.
So this is our form. We are taking your permission. Now, for example, the first movie I said I actually produced, OSB actually, collected it. And before they actually did that, I asked them, what are you giving us? 13 episodes. Although it was so poor, but not to standing, it still fit the standard anyway. Yeah. So now, they said they are not paying, they don't have the money, but they want trade by that. If we can actually agree with trade by barter. Okay. 30 minutes, you are going to hear it. So we should come for 30 minutes for that 13 weeks as well. And I'm not a presenter. What I want to do with 30 minutes? I was like, just show it, don't worry. Let the people say it. But what actually made me popular in Oshogbo, because if you are not popular from your base, you can't actually attain the height, is the fact that during Aregbe Shola, when they actually wanted people to actually do Owori, pay your tax, I was the one they've been hearing on NTA, OSBC, at least 5, 6, or 7 times in a day. They will hear it. So when someone actually see me, that I know you from somewhere, I say on TV. Which TV? Oh, Baba Dara. You are the Baba Dara. Do you understand that?
Yeah. Oh, it's a good day. You really made money from every sphere of life. Quickly, you're from Osogbo.
Yeah.
Wow. So you decided to do things from home. That's a good one. That's a good one. And in the nearest future, are you looking at your kids going into this business as well?
Well, it's a lucrative business anyway, and if they actually have the flair for it, I will actually encourage them, because the greatest thing I've actually achieved in this is not even the money, it's not even the fame, for the fact that an American superstar watched my movie. Oh, he's actually on the pictures I actually gave you. Danny Glover.
Danny Glover. I'm going to look at it.
Glover. There was a particular American that actually came. She is actually the wife of one of my colleagues, and they are here to actually, improve our hearts and stuff like that. And we said, can we just shoot something? You'll be part of it. Want to shoot about people that actually dream all these spiritual things, they meet themselves in the river, stuff like that. And she said, no problem. And she is a friend of Danny Glover. So when we shot it, he said, okay, no problem. I'm going to promote this in America. Short movie. We actually put it in different channels for competitions, and it's won. It's won different awards. Just 17 minutes. We have not even released it to the public, but we are still, keeping it for future sake. Wow. So he actually showed it to the Danny Glover. So there was a picture like that. I still have it on my phone. And the Glover was like, wow, this is a very good thing. And we use our groove just to show our culture. The plane, there's a way we actually maneuver the plane as if the lady just, arrived, landed Muritala, and my car is, I'm using Corolla. So we just follow one Corolla like that, as if I was the one that came to pick her from the airport, stuff like that. And it was very.
Now, I think this is Danny Glover there.
No.
The one on the colored shirt. Is that
where there was a lady like that taking a picture?
All right, we'll probably look. We'll see that. All right.
Yes. So we all know nothing comes easy. What are the challenges you faced so far?
Well, the first one is trying to act with my job. It has never been easy.
Wow.
That's the first thing, because when they call you, the situation of the film industry, they will just call you impromptu. You have to leave the class, and they will tell you have to be here in the next 10 minutes. And I'm going to cover like 3 or 4 kilometers. So the way I drive, the way I do things, I'm really kind of, oh my God, is this passion or I'm just going crazy? So that's the first thing. And secondly, the industry itself. There is a way they are supposed to do certain things that they're not doing, and they're trying to get it right now. Because if you pay at least a little, that's what we're actually changing in Osogbo here. Anybody that's coming from our production, if you are just passing through like this, you're going to get 1,000 naira. Because Osogbo and Osun State has been known to be a population of crowd in movies. So when you watch all these big movies, when they need crowd, they will tell them, hey, go and get them from Osogbo. They have a lot of crowd, because they don't have superstars, they have crowd. So we now change the narrative that, okay, when you do things like this, at least you are entitled to something.
That's nice.
It's not, instead of pay me, we have to pay you for even living out like 2 or 3 hours. So they have to pay people, if not handsomely, but at least try to encourage them one way or the other. Because that is why there are many people that have actually left the industry, because of the fact that they see it as something that is not going to pay them off eventually. A lot of superstars have actually traveled out of the country. Even last year, 2 or 3 of them, they have relocated to London, some in America, and blah, blah. So you just wondered, you are starting something like this, and at the end of the day, you get to their peak, and you are thinking of traveling out of the country. And definitely something is actually up there. That's right.
Quickly, because of our time, let's look at Nollywood. Let's look at the English genre and the Yoruba genre. People tend to always look at it that the English guys are doing far better. How true is this?
Yes, it's very true. But right now, Yoruba, I think we have actually wake up from our slumber.
Please do.
Because of the fact that if you see the movies they are reeling out right now, you realize that a whole lot of things are actually changing. So for me to even shoot a movie right now I have to think twice. I have to just up my game somehow. Because the English aspects, I don't know, maybe because of their exposure or whatever, they are on Netflix. They are on Netflix, heavily on Netflix.
True.
And there are some people that are radically talented. Like there is one movie on Netflix, Kasala.
Okay.
Kasala, they use 4 million to choose Kasala. Just one random stuff like that. Or Kasala has written more than 100 million.
Wow.
Just one young guy like that.
Hey. I'm willing, and I hope I'm not just too old to because I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Yeah. But it's really nice having you join us this morning.
Yes, it is.
Telling us quite a whole lot about the movie industry here in Nigeria. We love when you see what happens at the Hollywood and Bollywood. I look back and say, when will we get there? Well, obviously, we are even there.
Yeah, we are.
We are even there.
Exactly.
When we have somebody like Mr. Okwade and the entire Nollywood team. We want to wish you the very best. Akin Okwade is an actor, he's a producer who's done virtually so well for himself in the movie industry amid so many other things he does for himself. Thank you for coming.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
We'll be going today, and before we leave set, we'd like to let you know that next week Saturday it probably will be a patchy edition, because we will be joining all our correspondents all over Nigeria towards the 2015 general election. So, but we still admonish that please, let's all go out, let's do the needful, let it not be violent,
Exactly.
let it be free, fair, and credible.
Yes.
Tunde Idowu is my name.
And my name is Ajibike Anjorin Ojo.
Good morning.
aláwárí aláwákàn aláwárí lóko tá à ń pe ifá aláwákàn lóko tá à ń pe èṣù ọ̀dàrà alárìmọ́ lóko tá à ń pe ìyàmí àjẹ́ ìrètẹ́ ẹ rí lónìí ò ní bọ́ lọ́wọ́ yín ó ti dàṣẹ ó ti dègún ó ti dèpè ọ̀rọ̀ tarúgbó bá sọ kẹ́yìn báyìí ègún ní ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó rí ajígbèrèkò òjì kùtùkùtù yọ̀dà òǹdè ó ti dègún ó ti dèpè tí mo bí lónìí ó dàṣẹ àníkún owó àníkún ọlà ẹ kọ́lé mọ́lé ẹ ní wàásù ọ̀sẹ̀ káàkiri mọ́ gbogbo ìpọ́njú ayé yín ó ti dó ìgbàgbé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó rí ọ̀tàtà ìwọ ló sẹ́ni ìwọ ló ṣèyàn ó ti kígbe lọ wọgbó igbó ọ̀làtẹ́kẹ́ ẹ̀ ní wọgbó ẹ̀ ní dẹni ẹ̀sìn ẹ̀ ní dẹni ìyà ire owó kọ́ máa bá yín lọ ire owó kọ́ máa bá yín lọ ire owó kọ́ máa bá yín lọ ajígbèrèkò òjì kùtùkùtù mọ́kún ọ̀là dání ajígbèrèkò lóko tá à ń pe ifá òjì kùtùkùtù mọ́kún ọ̀là dání lóko tá à ń pe èṣù ọ̀dàrà ire owó kọ́ máa bá yín gbé ire owó kọ́ máa bá yín lọ àṣẹ ńlá níbẹ̀ lẹ́nu ọká àṣẹ kọlọ̀bọ̀ níbẹ̀ lẹ́nu lákọ̀ṣẹ èyí awílónì ó ti dà àṣẹ ó ti dèkún ó ti dèpè ọ̀rọ̀ tàrúgbó bá sọ kàn báyìí ègún ní í ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni olóyè máa wí ogun tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ẹ máa wí ogun tẹ́ bá fẹ́.